out with the old and in with the new. It's time to save big at Room to Room's New Year's sale. Store-wide markdowns 50 to 70% off, no tax, 48-month special financing. It's a new year at Room to Room Furniture in Tupelo. There's no place like home.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I am so excited to be back with y'all and talk about everything weather, especially here in North Mississippi. So I hope all of y'all have had a fantastic weekend. So let's track out what we can expect as we wrap up our Sunday and get ready for the work week ahead. So let's take a look at our first headline. We have a dry start to the work week ahead, but those rain chances will eventually make their way back. Our best rain chances are going to be around Wednesday, around midweek where we can see that, and then another chance, I believe it was next Saturday. I'll have to go back and check just to make sure. But Saturday will also be our best chance, but Wednesday is what we're looking at for the next nearest opportunity for those rain chances. But then also we're going to give you a look at those cooler temperatures that are in store, not only for the upcoming 7 days, but kind of what's expected in the long-term forecast as well. So let's just get started with this forecast. Let's take a look at the first 12, talking about these beautiful conditions we've been experiencing today, but we're taking with us into the evening hours ahead. 36 degrees by 7 o'clock, still seeing those clear skies above us, but as we get ready for midnight and into those early AM hours, that cloud cover going to eventually start moving on into our forecast area into North Mississippi. And models are going to show kind of a blanket of cloud cover. Now, it's not really going to be very thick cloud cover. These are going to be very thin, wispy, very high in the atmosphere, not really going to do much for us. So it's going to be mostly clear, but what you see on the models is going to look very cloudy. Just trust me on that one. Going to be mostly clear conditions as we go about our overnight hours and into our Monday. But cooling off, seeing upper 20s by 1 o'clock and pretty much sticking around the upper 20s as we get ready to start off our early Monday morning ahead. So let's take some live looks all across North Mississippi. I wish we still had our 5 o'clock broadcast for the weekends because we could talk about the sunsets. These had some amazing views of them, but out here in Amory, 43 degrees. And here's the story. Feels like 38. And what's causing that is that northerly wind, allowing us to feel just a little bit cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. So make sure you have that jacket, that hoodie on as you go about the rest of your Sunday night, because definitely going to feel a little bit cooler than what that temperature is reading outdoors due to that high pressure system out to our west and kind of pumping in that northerly air flow. But same thing out here in Crenshaw, 41 degrees, feels like 41, and that's because not a lot of wind, but you can see those clear skies all across North Mississippi, especially out here in Crenshaw. And then this is what we're talking about, just those mostly clear conditions. That's pretty much what we're expecting overnight and into your Monday. Not really going to be very impactful clouds or thick clouds, but the model's definitely trying to show you that throughout the rest of the upcoming broadcast. Let's take another live look out here in Starkville, looking at Mississippi State's beautiful campus. 43 degrees, feels like 43. That temperature was actually a little bit cooler earlier when I pulled this up, but that's also because it was a little bit windier. Now we're seeing those calm winds out there. So definitely that campus ready to get all the college students back as we get ready for another semester that starts off this Wednesday. But let's take a look at Mama Justice Mississippi Live Weather Radar. We are not tracking anything across North Mississippi, seeing those dry conditions. Thankfully, that's going to stick into the overnight hours ahead as we get ready for the work week. But like I mentioned earlier, we have that high pressure system out to our west, and that's what's making us feel just a little bit cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. Like I keep mentioning, that clockwise spin, bringing in all that northerly wind. That's what's allowing us to feel a lot cooler as we go about these overnight hours. And that's going to be the trend as we go about our pretty much overnight into tomorrow. Not going to be as significant once we get through this overnight period, especially as that high pressure system continues to move on through and get closer to North Mississippi. But Futurecast is going to show exactly that, those clear conditions across our area by this evening around 6:30. But as we continue into those overnight hours and prepare for the AM hours, you can kind of see that cloud cover start moving on through, and it almost looks like a blanket of cloud cover. Not going to be really thick by any means. Going to see those mostly clear conditions. But as we go about our day, going to see those break in cloud cover and just see mostly clear conditions as we go about our day. So another beautiful day in store for us as we get going with our work week and throughout our Monday. But the next 24 are going to show exactly that. Pretty much mostly clear conditions all day long. We're starting off around 27 degrees by 7 o'clock, working our way up towards the upper 40s, low 50s for some, especially once we reach those afternoon hours. but mostly sunny skies as you go about our day. Then we'll see some cloud cover try to return tomorrow evening, but even a sunnier day is locked and loaded for your Tuesday. So got to get through tomorrow, and then we're going to see even more beautiful conditions in store for us into the work week. But of course, I'm going to kind of walk you through your Monday, but also your Tuesday, and then talk about those rain chances for your Wednesday, and also what's going to be going across the internet, social media, to everyone trying to get you excited for maybe some snow chances. We're going to give you the very latest on all of that coming up after the break.
As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Let's take a look at your evening planner as we get ready to wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. We're seeing temperatures around 34 degrees by 8 o'clock with those clear skies still above us, but that cloud cover going to continue moving on into the overnight hours as we continue cooling off, seeing temperatures around the upper 20s by those AM hours ahead. So let's track that out here in just a second. We'll take a look at those lows, or excuse me, not the lows. These are those temperatures right now all across North Mississippi. Pretty much low 40s all across our viewing area. 39 out there in Holly Springs and Senatobia, 40 in South Haven, Clarksdale and Cleveland, 45 Greenwood. So beautiful evening ahead of us, but make sure you want to be bundled up because that wind hits you just the right direction. You're going to feel just a little bit chillier than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. But here we go with Futurecast, kind of tracking out the rest of your evening and into those overnight hours. Still seeing a clear end to our Sunday, but that cloud cover going to try to move in just a little bit as we go about the rest of our evening. Kind of moving in, especially by the 10 o'clock broadcast, still seeing cloudier conditions, but still this is going to be very high in the atmosphere, very thin and wispy in nature. Not really going to bother us, but this model kind of going to show that there's a lot more cloud cover than there really is, especially once we start off our Monday. By 6 o'clock, you can see kind of a blanket of cloud cover, but not really going to be affecting us as we get going with our work week ahead. But those low temperatures pretty much in the mid to upper 20s all across North Mississippi. 26 out there in Ambry, Tupelo, Boonville, Corinth, and New Albany. 28 in South Haven and Tunica, 30 in Cleveland and Greenville, and 28 out there in Greenwood. So definitely going to be a chillier start to the day, but don't worry, we'll warm on up as we get ready for those afternoon hours. And of course, with Christmas break ending, it's going to be a school day tomorrow, so drop off. Going to be a little bit chilly, upper 20s as you start off your Monday, but working your way up towards the low 40s by lunchtime. By the time the kids are ready to get out of school and home, you're talking about temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s, but beautiful forecast with pretty much mostly clear conditions all day long. It'll be even sunnier for your Tuesday ahead. But Futurecast, let's track this out. Still showing that blanket of cloud cover, and you're going to see kind of why I don't believe this as we continue into the broadcast, but mostly clear conditions. These are going to be very thin and wispy, not really going to be blocking much sunlight as you go about your day. Even into those Monday morning hours, seeing some of that breakage in the clouds as you go about your day. This is around 12 o'clock tomorrow, and then as we go into those afternoon hours, still seeing those mostly clear conditions throughout our viewing area. But by 6 o'clock, still see a lot of that cloud cover across North Mississippi. Next model run's not going to show any of this. So kind of giving that false hope for this clouds and showing it's a lot thicker and more prominent than what it's going to be. Still expecting pretty much a mostly sunny day ahead as we get going with our work week. But those highs going to be pretty much low 50s, upper 40s across North Mississippi. 48 out there in Red Bay, Iuka, Boonville, 51 New Albany, 51 Water Valley, 49 Clarksdale and Cleveland, and 51 Greenwood, Belzona, and Greenville. So another beautiful day. And this is around average for our time of year. So a lot cooler than the past few days have been, but that storm and that frontal system allowing us to feel those chillier conditions return here to North Mississippi. and we're going to enjoy them as well because we're pretty much feeling like that. As we go about our day tomorrow, those temperatures and feels like values are going to match up pretty well, but some of us could feel slightly cooler, and that's due to that northerly wind still having an effect on us. So definitely want to stay bundled as you go about your day, but it's also winter here in North Mississippi. So finally seeing those average conditions return to our viewing area. But Futurecast, here we go. Where did all that cloud cover go? This model showing not any cloud cover as we go about our evening hours. So just showing it's going to be pretty much a sunny day tomorrow, but definitely a sunny evening ahead as well. 6 o'clock by Monday, tracking out into those evening overnight hours. By midnight, still not really tracking anything, going all the way throughout those overnight hours to your Tuesday morning. There we go. That was in play the whole entire time, just a clear overnight period ahead. As we go about our Tuesday by 8 o'clock, going in towards lunchtime and into the afternoon hours. This is it. So definitely a sunnier day ahead for your Tuesday. By the time we make it into those overnight hours, going to see that cloud cover move in just a little bit and possibly see those rain chances start to affect us into those overnight hours. But pretty much we played through all of Tuesday, just showing it will be a boring day, but a beautiful and sunny day. And that is exactly what we want here in North Mississippi. But those high temperatures Tuesday going to be pretty warm. I mean, upper 50s, low 60s all across North Mississippi. This is where we're above average. So kind of a roller coaster of temperatures as we get ready for the work week. 60 out there in Houston, 58 in Holly Springs, Oxford, Senatobia, Clarksdale, and Cleveland, and 59 out there in Greenville. And those feels like values going to do a lot better for your Tuesday as compared to your Monday. So beautiful days ahead, slightly warmer for your Tuesday, but still going to be a sunny day and a beautiful start to the work week. Now those rain chances will eventually come back into your forecast, but we have a dry start, mostly clear conditions for your Monday, transitioning to pretty much perfectly clear with upper 50s as your high. Come back into the forecast. Right now we're confident on rain, but dropping back down. And we're for your highs Thursday, a significant dip before we kind of start building back up, falling again. You're going to see exactly what I mean in just a second. But those dry conditions Thursday and Friday, and then those rainy conditions trying to come back into the forecast yet again for your Saturday. We'll have the latest for those as we continue getting closer and closer towards next weekend. But don't go anywhere. I want to track out those temperatures as we go about the work week, but also take a look at those rain chances and potentially snow chances as we get further and further into the work week. A lot of people are going to be talking about it on social media, but I want to make sure you have the latest on it as we get ready. All of that's coming up after the break.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Let's take a look at those high temperatures that I was just talking about for your 7-day forecast. This is what I mean by kind of a roller coaster of highs as we go about our work week. We're kind of building on up, going up that roller coaster, going from 47 today to low 50s tomorrow, upper 50s Tuesday, before we take a drop Wednesday, seeing low 50s, 53 by Wednesday, low 40s by Thursday. So, I mean, we're talking about upper 50s, all the way to low 40s within the span of 48 hours. So definitely something to be prepared for, because Tuesday, definitely not want to be bundled up throughout the entire day, but Thursday, definitely want to make sure you are bundled up. Working your way up towards the upper 40s by Friday, kind of another kind of big hump in that roller coaster before we start crashing back down, seeing low 40s by Saturday and into Sunday. But also, we're going to see a lot cooler conditions past that. That meteogram only kind of takes you through the next 7 days, but looking towards mid-January, from the 17th through the 21st, we are seeing below average conditions return. So for all of you folks that love these below average conditions and these cooler weather, is eventually coming to North Mississippi. Just got to wait a little bit longer. You're going to feel a little bit warm as you go about the start of the work week, but we're eventually making that downward trend as we wrap up and get ready for next weekend, but especially into the next week. Especially this is talking about the 17th through the 21st. So not really talking about this upcoming work week, but what we can expect a little bit past it and past next weekend. Let's talk about those snow chances. Now, I don't like talking about snow, especially with it being North Mississippi. We rarely get it, but I know all of us love crossing our fingers and wanting to get it. So I kind of want to show you what we're looking at behind the scenes and how much these models have changed a lot throughout the past few days. This is the latest run. These are kind of after those rain changes Wednesday move on out, and we're kind of taking a look at those temperatures as well. But this is Wednesday night around 7 o'clock. Now, as we continue into those overnight hours, we're going to start to see those snow chances make their way back into the forecast just a little bit. You can kind of see where it's more prominent. The far northeastern portion of our viewing area, especially around Tishomingo, Alcorn, Prentiss County, that's where we can kind of start seeing those snow chances make their way into our forecast potentially. But still, this is Thursday. Models don't know really how to forecast snow for the South in general. So we always take this with a grain of salt. But for all of North Mississippi, you can definitely tell only maybe some of us are going to see those flurries as we go about our, well, technically overnight period. This is midnight around Thursday night. So maybe none of us will see it, but as we continue tracking this out, still kind of want to show you where it's going to be more prominent, and that's not really North Mississippi. Most of that with the latest model run shows it a lot further out towards the east, especially towards Alabama, but not affecting us here in North Mississippi. This is Thursday morning, so still maybe waking up to some flurries, especially in Tishomingo County, but the closer you are to that Alabama-Tennessee state border and the far northeastern portion of our state, better chances you have of seeing that snow. But this is Thursday morning around 6 o'clock. Now, as we continue throughout your day, definitely wanted to pause it here because this is around mid-morning, 9:30 for your Thursday. Still not seeing those snow chances as we go about our day. And the previous model run showed a lot of snow happening Thursday. It's already shifted further east. So just showing that these model runs can't really make up their mind on where to place that snow, but you're definitely going to hear a lot about it as you go about your week, especially on social media, people hyping up snow, maybe saying no chances of snow. But this is the latest run, showing a lot more further east out there in Alabama. This is at 9:30 for your Thursday, even going towards lunchtime, just seeing it pretty much not wanting to cross the border. Kind of going to have to convince Alabama to share some of the love, but kind of showing you the latest on those snow chances as we go about our work week. But that'll definitely be the hot topic as you go about the rest of the week ahead. And definitely people are going to want to be talking about that as well, because I know me personally, I'd love to see some snow here in North Mississippi. So I'm rooting for it just like you guys are. Just want to make sure I can set expectations and let you know the latest as we get closer and closer towards those snow chances returning. But of course, here's the QR code to our app, the iOS and Android version. We appreciate all the support you have given us. You can just scan that QR code. It'll take you to the app to where you can download it and you can share it with any family or friends that you have that you want to make sure they stay updated. And of course, we'll be live later on tonight at 10 to give you the latest on those temperatures that we're going to experience this work week, that roller coaster of temperatures that we're about to experience. And of course, those rain chances for your Wednesday and next Saturday as well, and see what the latest model runs with that snow does. They've been shifting it around just a little bit, but some models a little bit more confident, some not confident at all. So definitely up to us to kind of interpret and give you the latest as we go about the work week. But I was very excited to come back and give you the latest as we get ready, and I cannot wait to see y'all back here at 10. Y'all have a good one.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.